What's up? What's up? Hi. Hey. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, did this light go out already on me? Ah, my little cheapy light went out. I didn't even barely use this thing. Ah, of course it did. It's all right. Well, got the camera I wanted working. Got a new mic. How do I sound? Can I hear myself? Yeah, I'm not doing headphones. Because, wait a minute. What the heck is going on here? Oh, yeah, of course. This one's going to be, hold on. I am getting myself together on Rumble because for some reason my StreamYard's not holding Rumble. Maybe because it doesn't have a designated spot. I used the codes, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to work. Let's see here. Hi. Feel free to chat. No. I'm going to do that. Oh. All right, now I think we should be good. No. Oh, why is this doing this? Sorry, guys. I thought I had everything set up, but of course there's something. I'm across seven platforms right now. Well, 6. I'm adding this one. Where's my studio? Okay, I gotta come back here. And okay, it says that I'm fucking. Oh, and I was really trying not to curse too. Okay, wait a minute here. Here we go. No. Why is it? Son of a bitch. Okay. The navigation on here is really just there it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. Okay. Now I should be all right. What's up? What's up? Oh, and I got to do some clips too. All right, let's see here. What's going on here? Why can't I? Wait. No, I'm there. It's fine. No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that either. That's why. Okay. It's like, wait, where is it? Okay. Is there anybody out there chatting to me yet? And I'm properly on Instagram too this time. How's my audio? Hopefully it sounds good because I was using old stuff and I should have known better. What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? Okay, so how do I? Hi. Okay, good. Am I streaming on Rumble now? All right. It says I'm live on Instagram, but I'm not searchable right now. Like it's not popping up. It was and then it wasn't. I'm gonna search it from a different window. Hey, is anybody chatting to me? No, you guys aren't chatting to me yet. Hi, how are you? I'm Shannabis. We're gonna get to it in a minute, but I'm still learning. I'm a one-woman show here. So bear with me. I want to see something. Can I even? Oh, I can't even look, right? Oh, okay. How's my stream? What's up? What's up? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of it. The erection election. You like that? Erection election. That's you know, this happened one other time, right? Probably more. Well, there's stories that it happened more. But there was a man once who was president. His name was Bill Clinton. And it's called Blowjob Gate. Okay. If you weren't around in 98 or weren't paying attention, he was impeached. And of course, the other side, the Republican Party, there was a guy named Ken Starr, who is no longer with us, that, I mean, he had to go down. The main difference, I believe, between, you know, what Bill Clinton went through and what Donald Trump's going through is that one came out and apologized for lying and apologized to his wife. So that's all I really want to say on the matter, because I stand for trying to get cannabis legal so we can research it, because THC attacks and kills cancer cells. And that's what I used to get shadow banned for, you know, back before the whole world started discussing, you know, what's in our medicine, what's in our food and all that. So I'm so glad that a lot of people are paying more attention to it now. And I do want to get more into that wellness vibe. For those of you that are new here, I'm a huge supporter of RFK. We're going to talk politics. That is the politician I believe that should be running our country. He's who I would give the job to, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about putting a person in an office to do a job for us for 4 years, and then we can pick somebody else. I don't know if the rhetoric out there that talks about how Trump wants to, be a dictator, stay in office forever and blah, blah, blah. Don't we have like ways to not allow that to happen? Like, isn't that like, it's like, dude, I think we have ways to not allow that to happen. But I could be wrong. Because a lot has happened. A lot has happened that I thought we had a little more control over. And I already didn't think we had as much control anyway. But hi, everyone. Welcome to my chat. Feel free to gab with me. Say hi. I hope you're having a nice day. Did you guys see the Fauci thing? Did you guys watch that? Yeah, I think for me, the most spine tingling moment where I just felt like, does anything else really have to be said at this point? Was when they played that recording of Dr. Fauci saying how if we were legally obligated to comply, where our lives would be made tougher, we couldn't get jobs, we couldn't go to a grocery store, we couldn't engage with our friends unless it was mandated, because I don't know what else we're supposed to call that. That audio conversation where he said that if we want to get everybody vaccinated, he needs to force us, and just the undertone of what he represents. That audio clip that they played, if that didn't just show the whole world the person's intentions, right? It's all about intent. That man's intent on what he wanted to do to the human race, the American freedoms. I mean, how can you? I mean, you can. Yes. I keep getting the Indiana Jones image. Please tell me somebody else out there agrees with me. Do you not see the bad guy from the original Indiana Jones when you look at Dr. Fauci? I'm just putting it out there. I think it's the original one. And am I the only one? I cannot be the only one that gets that vibe. Yeah, like totally looks like I think they like put him in the movie specifically for, I don't know. I have a feeling that there was an undertone there. The conspiracies that we shall not talk about. I'm just happy to see everybody else talking about it, because I've been talking this stuff. I've been talking about this since the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really glad everybody's here with it. I've spent, I'm new to X. Hi X, what's up? I'm new to this, but this is something I was trying to do years ago before the technology was kind of here to do it. So it's really cool. And now I'm here, and hopefully we can talk about cannabis and medicine and farming and making sure that we cover the things that matter in our day-to-day life, and not what, whose pussy and penises are profiteering. Like, who cares, right? I don't know. Pussy profiteering, though. We're in the erection election, so let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about the erection election. And if I want to take it a step further, they insurrected his erection in this election. I mean, come on. Can the DNC get any dumber? I mean, as a person that voted mostly Democrat her life, because I did vote for Mitt. I admit I voted for Mitt. I wasn't happy. I voted for Obama the first time. I wasn't happy with where things were going to, '08 hit, stuff like that. So I voted more so with my pocketbook than anything else. At that time, I didn't really see, the politics behind. Anyway, with all that being said, actually, if I wouldn't take that vote back because of what he's shown himself to be. I might not agree with his politics, but he's a stand-up person to have stood his ground as he did. So that's just respect. And now somebody like me, Bobby Kennedy, that's who I'm voting for. That's who I'm checking the box for. But I don't want to cry right now because I'm in Nevada. And I don't know if you heard, but headlines time. Bobby Kennedy just had to throw up a lawsuit against the state of Nevada to try to keep him off the ballot, because now they're saying, after they didn't say, because I was a volunteer on Team Kennedy here locally, I personally went out and gathered signatures in January and February. And then I saw how hard it was. Like I saw how hard it was to do things in politics without having access to a budget, because even just little things, being able to buy some street signs for yourself, stuff like that. And to give to, it's just the way campaign finance is. That's when I broke away with a few local donors, and we started our own very small PAC. Anyway, I've talked about that on the past, thevenuspac.com. You're welcome to check it out. Anyway, so now Mr. Kennedy and his team had to throw up a lawsuit against the state of Nevada, because now the Secretary of State is saying that he had to have a VP on the ballot when we collected the signatures. Now he made this statement in March. We started collecting signatures. What was it, like January 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever it was. That was the go time. They validated for the ballot collectors. They said, yes, here, these ballots are fine. This is how you collect the signatures. There was no mention about there has to be a VP on here. There was mentions about that in other states that already had those regulations written. But here, either there's only two things that could have happened. Either the Nevada Secretary of State's current office, which is held by Cisco Aguilar, a Democrat, is completely disorganized, and they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to give American presidential candidates correct information and guidance. Okay, it's one thing. Either they're not capable, or two, they're interfering in an election and messing with voter candidate suppression, basically, is what's happening. It's not really voter suppression, but it kind of is, because the voters are being suppressed on the candidate they can choose. But it's candidate suppression. So now there's formally a lawsuit that just the headlines like yesterday. And I'm going to be very, 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 very upset. I want to sue somebody upset. Can I sue somebody for the time that I spent doing a volunteer job like that, and then thinking that everything was fine, and being told by my state that I was doing the right things for the American public and the American people? That's not okay. There was zero mention of that ever. And if there was, trust me, the signatures would have been gathered anyway. I hope they're gathering now, because it's not a lot. It's a little over 10,000. And if I hope they're at least changing it, because it's until the middle of July. So, if I was independently wealthy and I actually had super PAC investment stuff, then I could just take the times out of my week, and I would spend 10 hours a day doing everything Kennedy. But it's a hard job. They went out there, we went out there, everybody went out there, worked our butts off, and we accomplished something a while back. And now they want to come back and say, oh no, you were supposed to do it this way. Meanwhile, you already approved it to be done the way it was done. So yeah, this is just a can of worms that didn't need to be opened, honestly. And hopefully things are corrected very, very quickly. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a very, very hard time for 2026. because, and it would really suck as the nation for the nation if he's on 49 ballots and he gets suppressed off of the state of Nevada. You know what that's going to look like for the state of Nevada? I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm new to politics because, advocating for cannabis and legalization and medication and all of that got me into politics. Because in order to get something like that done, you've got to play the politics. So that's how I got introduced to politics. And, and then things happened. COVID happened, all of that. And I saw everything that was going on. And I think I actually left a comment on Bobby Kennedy's Instagram before he got banned. I think I commented, "Will you please be our next president?" I think I actually did leave that comment. So that was when I nominated him. Anyway, because all all anybody has to do is a little bit of proper research and not listen to what they're being fed. That's why it's called a feed. Any reasonable person comes to the same conclusion I have, and millions of us have at this point. So yeah, I really hope that it gets figured out pretty quickly, because I would hate to see Nevada be on the world stage because a local state politician, the third in line from the state, mind you, because there's the governor, there's the lieutenant governor, and then there's the secretary of state. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking, and because Bobby support and our governor, our lieutenant governor, they're Republicans, Democrats. So I'm hoping that as reasonable men on both sides of the aisle agree, just like when Bobby came out and said that he supported Trump being on the ballot in Colorado, because it's about being fair. This is not about who you're going to vote for. It's not about vote for whoever you want. It's about us having a fair democracy and being able to have our options in front of us. They can't take your option away before it's in front of you. That's like somebody's cooking dinner in the kitchen. Smells good too. You're starving. They come over. They put the plate down in front of you. They take all the food away. Like, how is that okay? It's not. It's not American. So yeah, that's what I'm saying about politics today. Nobody wants to chat yet. I know some I can't get the chats, but I can see. Ugh, I need more screens. I need like all the screens. Oh, that's why I'm in this. Hold on. I've got to change this up. Okay, hold on. I was wondering why my Instagram was so because usually I have a couple floating in there. It's because I was doing a All right, now we're fishing alive, but it's okay because I was here doing stuff anyway. So the people that were with me got a little bit of it. Damn it. Damn, I was sounding good too. I hate when that happens. Hold on here. Hold on. It's all right. As long as I went out on the other one, honestly, I'm giving less and less of a crap about I'm kind of giving less of a crap about the Instagram meta streamings, because they're just wait. Oh, do I have to totally kill it again? Damn it. I really wanted to do. Fuck. Oh, wait. No, wrong one. All right. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. This is why it's like so much cooler when you have a producer. You at least have a moderator. Okay, there. I was trying to do it so fast. Yeah, I'm in search of moderators too, if anybody's interested. Okay, now I should be live on Instagram again. That's why, because I had it in the stupid, damn it. That's what I do to myself, though. And I was sounding so good about that then. It's all right. I'll just replay that I'll replay all I just did on the Instagram. Because that was already that was good, though. We're getting there. Let's see. Is anybody on X at all? Looking at me? I don't know. Ooh, I want to get some of these campaigns. Let's see. Let's take a break. We talked about the politics. Damn, you know what? I had some good segues too, dude. All right. It's all right. Okay, cool. Can I change? Hold on. Hold on. See if it changes it. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, my shit's running now. Yeah. All right. Now. Hi everyone, how are you? All right. Now let's talk about, what are we going to talk about now? Oh, I know what we're going to talk about now. Oh yeah, I have to do one more step with that. Yeah, Instagram wants to be extra because, hi Instagram, we're on now. But my quality is crap on Instagram. It shouldn't be. I'm plugged in. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to my stream. Chat me. Hi. All right. Let's see here. Let's see this campaign thing we got. It's not letting me choose them. Am I not allowed to do them anymore? Let me do it before. Oh, wait. No, there it is. Okay. Don't forget to follow me on Rumble. Follow me on Rumble. Let's talk cannabis. Follow me on Rumble. Let's see here. Let's do. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on Rumble and watch me live 3:30 to 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays Pacific time. Pacific. You guys don't know what I'm doing. I'm like doing some cuts right here, clips. So basically I'm going to be editing this later. Hi. Follow me on Rumble. Catch me live 3:30 to 5 Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. See ya. Follow me on Rumble Tuesdays and Thursdays. Follow me on Rumble and watch me live Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Let's talk cannabis, wellness, and a little bit of politics. Let's talk about cannabis, wellness, some politics, and headlines and trends. See you there. I'll do one more. Hi, I'm Shannabis. Follow me on Rumble and catch me live Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Let's talk cannabis, politics, history. Hi, I'm Shannabis. Hi, I'm Shannabis. Follow me on Rumble and catch me live Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5 Pacific time. See ya. All right, one more. I want to go this way with it. Hi, I'm Shannon. Can you stop licking yourself over there? Freedom. Buddy. Yeah, my dog's name's Freedom, right? Hey, come on. You're going to mess with my audio. I already know. Pumpkin. Hey, Freedom. Freedom. Okay, well, hopefully it we won't. I can hear it. So I don't know if this mic will pick it up. Anyway. Hi, I'm Shannabis. Follow me on Rumble and catch me live Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. See ya. All right, that'll be cute, right? I'll watch it back later. I'm sorry, I'll do it next time I go live. I'll do it. See, I've got to do live and product. Like I got to do all this. This is the time I have for this. Oh, what else? See, let me do something else. Let's see. It's a lot of copy. Nope. No. You know what? I'll record this. I'll do a recording of these is what I'll do. This is just it's a lot. I want to chat to you guys. Okay. So does anybody want to say hi in my chat? Oh no, is Instagram coming? Instagram, can you hear me? Is there anybody on Instagram? Say hi, chat. Okay. So now that we've covered all right. We talked about the bullshit lawsuit that it's bullshit that this lawsuit had to happen because of suppression in Nevada politics. So I hope that all gets fixed really quickly and that we don't look like that to the rest of the world. I really hope so. Anyway. And we talked about Fauci and I made my comment about the Erection election. Let's stop dictating. Oh, that's another one. Oh, the dictators. That's right. The dictators. Yeah, Dick and Tater. All right. So okay. All right. This we got to stop shedding light on politicians that have sex. Like all the DNC did with all of that and making it like granted, if he would have apologized for lying and admitted to it like Bill Clinton did, then maybe it wouldn't have gone as far as it did and apologized to his wife. But I mean, it's definitely above and beyond, and it was a dumb thing to do because that all that did was shed more light on the person they're trying to defeat, and whoever's calling those shots at the DNC, like fired. That's just so not strategy. That's like the worst strategy I've ever heard. Embolden and empower the monsters. That's the good way to go about it. That's a good way to go about it. Oh, and the WHO. Guys, this WHO thing was insane. Have you read about this? Like, so the people that were basically running our world health decision making during the pandemic and currently are leaders of places, not all of them obviously, but a good majority of the ones calling the shots have led their people into they've murdered, genocide, all that. They've committed all those atrocities. But somehow the World Health Organization that people like Bill Gates is speaking at, I don't know who elected him, any kind of official, but anyway, it's because all of the governmental operations are on his damn Windows system computer. That's why. I figured that out when I had to file reports with the FEC. Yeah, it's pretty scary that all that technology is just on one, like, anyway, that's another conversation for another stream. Hi, how are you? Now, what did I want to get in? I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. So if I want to, man, I was rolling too till I realized I was fucked up on Instagram. Damn it. I hate when I do. See, that's the thing. When you're a one woman show, like when you're talent, it's good just to like be the talent. Like you walk in, you just do, like those of you that were here, like Instagram wasn't here and then I had to fix it, but He'll see it. I'll replay it. But I was like, I was vibing, man. I was just going, boom, done, like in the zone. And that's what happens. Like that's when you're, at least it happens to me. When you're the talent portion of a production situation, you just kind of get in this zone and you just, I just, just go. And when you have to deal with the production things or, even just simple monitoring, like that can get really, you lose your showmanship or showwomanship. Anyway, I did cover most of what I wanted to cover then. I think I covered it pretty well before I had that mistake. But oh, and what was with this lady at the Fauci hearing? Those of you that, are just joining us, we were talking about that. So what is with this lady, Miss Castro out of Florida? She didn't ask anything that was based in any kind of like she kept talking about politics. She kept mentioning Democrats and Republicans, none of that, talking about COVID and the science and what happened, all of that should not come down to a political side or a little political party or a political anything. So I want to know why the words Democrat, Republican were even coming out of her mouth. Like you the guy, and it's funny because the one woman was like, I've never seen these emails. We don't have these emails. They're literally holding up fucking emails. And if they're not his email, there's two people that were working with him talking about a situation that had to do with him between them. So at bare minimum, it's worth more digging. Why are two people talking about something? If he ain't involved, he ain't involved. But why are they? But he is involved. And that's that audio tape said it all. I don't know how, if you heard the audio tape of Dr. Fauci talking about making it mandatory and basically taking our jobs, our livelihood away from us and doing everything to us to force us into submission of getting a vaccine or whatever they want to give you by taking away your basic rights and freedoms. Who did he think he was? How is that okay? If anybody, I don't understand anybody. I don't care what political side you're on. If you don't stand up and listen, if you're going to agree with a man that would sit there and say the words that he said in that audio recording, I don't need to know you. That is that is insane. And if you didn't hear the part where they played the audio recording of what Fauci said, I encourage you to go find it and listen to it. I encourage you to go find it and listen to it. And if listening to that man, because what he says in that shows his true intent. Intention is everything. The words that he said and the direction he was giving. That's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway. Oh, and it came out too that the NIH and other, lettered government groups made over $710 million in royalties associated with the pandemic. Whether it was a vaccine, PPE, remember that? Remember all the PPE? All the gloves and masks that are sitting in landfills now that we can't recycle? Where's the fund for that? Where's the government's fund for that cleanup? Actually, it's not the government's fund. It's the pharmaceutical company. That's the lawsuit I'm waiting to pop up. How about all the mess that these pharmaceutical companies make with their trash, their gloves, I understand we need, like, the person at Subway doesn't need to change their gloves at every sandwich. Like, can we come up with something better than that? Like, can't we come up with something better than that? Every time Every time somebody puts on a pair of gloves and takes them off and throws them in the trash, where do you think they go? You are aware that they go into the oceans or into a landfill. China stopped, and those weren't recyclable to begin with. There's nothing you can do with them. It's complete waste of trash and killing our land. Period. There's no way around it. The science, like, no, that's what it is. So China stopped taking our recycling in 2020, even though you're still paying your recycling bill, right? It all goes to the same place. It doesn't get recycled. We don't have recycling centers in the United States. All our recycling was getting shipped over to China and letting them deal with it. And they said, no, no more in 2020. So before, and you know, at this point with the, like, I can see if you yourself are not feeling well and you're sick and you've got a cough and you're sick and you have to go out, you have to go to the store, you have to go out to do whatever it is you need to do because it's life, you got to live it. And, you know, instead of you coughing and sneezing all over people, you're going to put a mask on, you're going to protect the other people from your cough. Okay. That I can understand. Hey, yeah, I'm really sick. I know I've got something, but I got to go to the store. Let me at least protect other people from me, you know, and do what I need to do. Now, the people that are just still doing that, is this a forever thing now? I'm really curious about that. I would love for somebody that, listen, if that's what you want to do, and you feel as though when you walk outside every single day, whether if you're riding your bike outside and it's a gorgeous day, that you feel the need that you need to have a mask on, I respect you. Okay. I respect your decision. That's your right to make. But I'm really curious on asking, I'm asking, is it a forever thing for you? Like when do you think it's going to be safe to take the mask off? When does that time happen for somebody? I'm really curious about that. I wish somebody would tell me that, because there's no way I would be in a mask for the next 40 years. Nah. So I'm really curious about that. Like when's the end time of that? Is there one? You know, is it something you plan on doing till, you know, you're gone? Anyway. So yeah, I felt that the Democrats during the Fauci hearing just tried to polarize it into some political thing more than the Republicans. Like, I never thought in my life that I would be sitting here agreeing more with a group of people that I don't agree with on the majority of political issues, but I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I mean, there's really only maybe a handful of things where I'm like, yeah, no, that's not okay. The other things are workable, movable. Like, there's so many, you know, different things about not just what you're going to do, but how you're going to do it. And then it gets down to how. But if you can't even agree on what you need to do, then the hows don't even get there. And I feel like that's where we're at in government. If we have people sitting in offices that are too polarized, that's the whole, like, and I gotta say, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I gotta give respect's due. Granted, I do not agree with her on a lot of policies. I don't agree with her on her behavior, in you know, being combative, especially as women in a majority male dominated world of that they're in, to be catty the way they were. I don't support that at all. But what she did and what she said and what she stood on, and the masking of the little kids and all of that, like, 100%. I think she did a remarkable job with pulling the curtain over on that one, because that is the mental taxation to humans in general in multiple generations, is what I believe Dr. Fauci doesn't even understand, because he's a narcissist. So he doesn't understand that right there is what everybody's mad about. It's not, and like the headlines will say, oh, everybody's blaming him nobody's blaming him for COVID. That's a whole, nobody's blaming him directly. The way he handled it and his behavior after the fact, yeah. Now, are they blaming that he allowed financing to happen that could have attributed to things that happen, 100%. That's, that'll be decided in a court of law, because there's got to be, I mean, I don't know how you send an email to somebody talking about how you deleted your emails. That's like, like that's obviously you were hiding something. If you like, you admitted to hiding some shit. So again, a deeper dive. I think that with everything that was said and heard and all of that, if everybody on those panels don't agree that there needs to be some kind of more special investigation regarding these, findings, I think they're just putting their flag deeper into the sand, and there's literally nothing you could put evidence right here. You could put it's culty. It's very culty. Like you could, well, how much more evidence do you need? There's emails of people saying things and even he admits to deleting emails and deleting stuff. Like it's right there. So anybody that's going to not see that, and then those people that aren't going to like look at the evidence that's there, and they're so into their political mind, they should not be in office. And if they can't even, again, agree on the problem, they can't even agree there's a problem that needs to be fixed, let alone get along enough to fix those problems. So I think, on a whole, unless we get somebody to lead like Bobby Kennedy, that's going to lead by example, that's going to lead by actually trying to accomplish things, that trickles down, that kind of action that shows that unity can happen, that shows that we can have some kind of, respect again in political culture. So I feel like there's no respect, and a lot of people don't want the truth too. A lot of people don't want the truth, but people like myself, and we were like tens of thousands maybe back then. There's probably hundreds of thousands now that have joined, and you figured it out. Thank you. It's there's a lot of us that were shadow banned, were exiled, what was the other headline? There was a headline that I read. We were doomed to die. I remember that. We were doomed to have a very sick and lots of sickness and lots of death come Christmas time. That was a headline where prominent officials, I think I talked this on my last podcast, but I didn't have good audio. What happened and what they did and how it was handled was completely wrong. And I would like anybody else besides the two political parties and groups of people that were there. I want new people, new change, new everything. I don't think anybody that just fell in line, didn't ask any questions, I don't believe should be in office. There was certain states that were closed down for long periods of time, and there was like states next door that were open, the same businesses in one state versus another state, open, closed, because it was a battle. It wasn't about science. It wasn't about medicine. It was a battle between politics. It was about fucking politics and money, of course. How are we doing? Hi, guys. What's up? What's up? Hi. There you go, Jerry. Right? Yeah. Like I said, if I got really, really sick and I had to go run to the store for something like medicine or whatever, juice, and I was like coughing and I personally was sick, I would put something on to go into the store to go get what I needed and run out. I would protect the public against like my coughing or whatever. But other than that, there's no reason for one. Like there's no reason for one at all. And I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you on that. I want to know if somebody is doing it like still, especially like that are going outside, Right? Like, isn't that's the respectful thing to do, right, Jerry? You just, you keep your that's I feel like that's how it was always meant to be and supposed to be. And then they just, wanted to sell everybody masks and then throw them all over the ground. Um, they wanted to sell it to everybody. But I would think like I heard some physicians say, they're like, yeah, if you're sick, if you're not feeling well, wear your mask if you have to go out and be around people. But like that makes sense. But yeah, no, me too. When do you think it's going to end for people that still do, though, especially like out walking around in, the beautiful weather and the clean air? There's a lot of places that have there's dirty air in places, but there's clean air in a lot of places too. Yeah, I wonder that about people, Jerry. Like, when will it end? When is their end time? Like, what are they waiting for? Because if they're waiting for like, and here's the thing too with that, there was this other politician that was, congratulating him, and so AIDS for 40 years, there was never an introduction. There was never there hasn't been anything regarding an AIDS vaccine in 40 years. And you're talking about the same people that have had the job for 40 years to make that happen. Politics is the only place where you can get a job and promise you're going to do something, or say that you can do something, and then not actually really ever complete the task at hand or the job, and just sit there for 40 years. So why, because I have the numbers right here too, why in a few months was $106 billion invested into a vaccine, but 40 years ago, and for every year since, for the last 40 years, somehow for over 20 years, they've been putting money into HIV, and they've only managed to put $12 billion in 20 years into that fund for that research, for that. And now, and even now, it's medication, it's maintenance, they want to keep you sick, so you have to take their additional drugs. If you don't have to and that's the thing people don't understand about the medical institution. If you're not sick and there's nothing wrong with you, they don't make any money, right? So this is why, no, he didn't. This is why I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, honey. I am queen conspiracy theory, adequate research theories, and that definitely did not happen. There was never there was never any kind of hiccup there was never any story of that. There was never any nothing of that. No. And the history of that's already been like completely backtracked. But now we're supposed to entrust these people to actually get things done for us. And I think that's completely impossible. They can't even sit in a room together without calling each other names. But when you're supposed to get something done, it's supposed to be done. They're not supposed to give you maintenance, keep you maintained. And that's, if you guys don't see it with this vaccine too, you're constantly having to get a maintenance dose, a maintenance dose, a maintenance dose, a maintenance dose. I heard somebody on the radio, she was complaining how, what was it? Lady Gaga had a concert and she admitted that she had COVID and still did her concert anyway. So she came out, said, yeah, my concert went off. I had COVID, but I showed up and I did my show anyway. Now, here's the thing. If people have vaccines, you're supposed to be protected from her COVID. Okay. So that whole like thing is stupid. All right. if you have a vaccine and you feel and that's you're doing that and that's your vibe, cool. But you can't be like, oh my God, they're going to give me COVID. Like that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to be protected against it. So why does it matter? Number one. Number two, they had the caller call in and she's like, oh yeah. She should be sued. This caller on this local radio station was saying how Lady Gaga should be sued because she performed at her concert with COVID. I mean, you shouldn't have to admit, you shouldn't even say anything about your personal health care, which kind of got that HIPAA law got violated so many times every day, all day long in our country, still does. So just anybody asking you about your health in general or you disclosing it is like, you don't have to, and they can get sued for asking. So anyway, that's HIPAA law. I actually lost my LinkedIn for 2 years because I posted something about HIPAA law during everything. And they took my LinkedIn for 2 years. So now this lady on the phone's like, yeah, I've got to be careful because I'm, compromised. And she's like, I've had COVID 6 times. And I'm like, so you got this lady, she gets every single shot you're throwing at her, and she's had it 6 times. I personally have not had a vaccination since pre-1989, except for the one time I had a flu shot and it ended up that it was COVID, SARS-CoV-2. And I found a audiobook years later that there's a whole conspiracy in this audiobook about SARS-2 getting put into a bunch of flu vaccinations in, I think it was 2009. And that was the year that happened to me. I literally lived that. I literally lived that conspiracy. So I'm sitting here as a person right now that lived that conspiracy, that it had to have happened because I went and got the flu shot. 3 days later, I'm in the emergency room feeling sicker than I've ever felt in my life with SARS-CoV-2. So yeah, I lived that. That's why when all this came out, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm obviously allergic to whatever the fuck they're putting in those needles. So I don't need to do any of that. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I've been sick twice in, I want to say 7 years that I've been sick. And I think the last time was 2022. And that's when I had gotten COVID. And I was out and about. I didn't do all that. I was in a state where they weren't as uptight and people were like going places at least. There were some businesses closed, all that, but people were at least more free. So anyway, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, how are people that are getting all of those shots all the time and they're always sick with COVID? Meanwhile, myself and people that I know that don't sign up for that barely are getting it, or like get it, once a year, twice a year. Only the people that I know that did the shots, that they've been sick, and like sicker than normal sick. And of course it's okay, that's a sick, but it's like, when does 1 and 1 equal 2 is what I want to know. Like, when do we get to that point? Because there's so much of that information out there. Yeah, well, guess what? Just because somebody says doctor in their name, I don't buy into them. But I will do some research. Who is this Dr. Judy? COVID. Yeah, no, actually, if you research her, she's all over it's the NIH, the National Institute of Health. So, I mean, yeah, it's their publication. This was in 2020. Yeah, actually, so the SARS, she's in this, she was like not okay. So she studied SARS-CoV-2 There's nothing about her, and yeah, she studies COVID, honey. Oh, I believe that she, like, now I'm reading this stuff about her. Oh, I'm sure she was fighting against I'm sure she was fighting against them with everything that happened. Okay, so are you talking about the video? Okay, so none of the claims are true. The video is an excerpt from the forthcoming movie Plandemic, which promises to expose the scientific and political elite. And this is published on science.org. This is the nonprofit organizations that talk about science. Yeah, the video you saw was not. Yeah, I'm sure that she fought against them and did stuff. I'm sure she did, and I respect her for that. But going back to your initial statement of Fauci created HIV now, was he? Yeah, no. Like the time, like that. That's no. Did they fuck around and find out with COVID? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Well, if you have that much time to do all that research, you must be independently wealthy as hell, Jerry. Yeah. Did you watch the movies? Have you seen all the movies? They've done some really good documentary movies that have come out, like with the history of it and all the people that fought and stood up during the revolution, like the whole LGBT community and all of that. There's quite a few documentaries. Okay, now let's talk about. You know what time is it? I'm hopping off soon. What did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to make some clips. I want to do some more clips. All right. Caloric bliss. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do those. I'll record those. That's fine. All right. I liked the first thing I did until I got all fucked up from that stupid Instagram. Shit fucked me up. You know that happens. Oh, yeah. That's too what I might do. I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet. Thinking about it. Oh, and I did talk about last week a little bit, but my audio was messed up. So if anybody's interested in running commercial advertisements, whether it be radio, television, or online platforms, in support of Bobby Kennedy for president, I have a PAC. I have a dedicated PAC for, I mean, the foundation of it is legalizing cannabis and getting cannabis medicines researched and into the hands of the patients that need it the most, is with cutting through red tape. And the Schedule 3 thing is horrible. It's a terrible decision. I've said it a million times. I say it a million times more. That just gives cannabis right to big pharma, which is what we don't want to do. So with that being said, with that being said, that will be the future. That's what the special interests of the PACs are. So you know how we talked about a super PAC. A super PAC is just a political action committee. It's a bunch of activists that decide they want to do something. You form a corporation and you get a license from the FEC. It does not cost much. You don't have to have millions and millions of dollars to participate. If I had millions and millions of dollars, we could sit here. Actually, I would be out and about with signs and I'd be doing all kinds of stuff. Anyway, if any of you out there have content that you want to run and buy ads for, I can legally do that through my PAC. If it's something you'd like to do, DM me, hit me up. I would love to help support that process. I do not take any fees for that or anything like that. You just have to, we'll figure out what campaign you want to do and what your budget is, and we can run the ads. So let me know. I'm here. X is already completely approved. I'm sure I will have no problem with Rumble. I'm pretty sure if I set it up, depending on if I need to. And also, yeah, honey, I'm on to a next subject. I talked about that person as much as I needed to talk about them. And I've been sitting here fighting against the tyranny of big corporations and big pharma, which I'm sitting right here with cannabis. So I've been on the fight for legalizing cannabis and activists in that since 2011-ish, something like that. So yeah, I've been a lot into personal wellness and medicine. As you can see, I'm a very healthy woman. I consume very clean food. So yeah, I don't need to research one person. I know about the establishment. So yeah, so it was nice talking to you, but we're on to a different subject now. So yeah, it's thevenuspack.com. You can go check out the page and shoot me an email or send me a DM, and I would love to run your ads in support of RFK. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to log off. This was fun. It was nice meeting new people. Hi, Jerry. See some other people like watching, but not really typing. But oh, I can't see too. I don't think it types through on Instagram. Like some of these, it doesn't type through on either. So even if you were here, I couldn't see you. Oh. Hi, Flight Bites. I see you there. See, my Instagram feed looks grainy AF though. It's all right. I'll have to watch it all and play back to see how it came out. But if it's too grainy, then I'm not going to run it through a multi-streamer, and I'll just pick 2 or 3 that I'll be on. But I shouldn't have to. It should be. I have plenty of power. Shouldn't have that problem. So let's see what happens on. Let me see what it looks like after. All right. Bye, Instagram. I'm going to play with this right now. Let's see. We'll end Instagram. I don't want to discard the video. I want to reuse it. Why is it discarding it? Don't discard it. No. Okay. Oh, okay. So I got to do a whole other thing to even say, you know what? I'll just use my other video. So yeah, we can discard the live video. Bye. Yeah, I'm just like getting so over Meta. I just feel bad for people. Like I know a lot of people that, involve themselves in cannabis and politics and adult and all that. And like, they don't even know that they're shadowed on these Meta platforms. They're wondering like, oh, nobody's looking at my posts. It's like, the post that you're putting out, their AI has already decided that your page is semi in the gray area of violation, or they just don't agree with whatever information you're putting on there. And so you're automatically like shadowed. And so you can put as much information out there all you want to, and nobody's gonna ever see it when you're shadowed. So that's what happens on a lot of the Meta platforms. So yeah. Yeah, legalization in most of the states has been a joke. I agree with you 150%. It's all the majority of it has been a joke, a really long, drawn out joke. For instance, here in Nevada, back in 2016, the legalization bill that was drafted put a portion of the tax revenue collected into a coffer to go to our schools. We are like one of the worst school systems in the country. Meanwhile, we've been collecting a shit ton of money in tax revenue from the sale of cannabis for 8 years. It has been fully legal tax collected in the state of Nevada for 8 years, and our schools are broke. So when you say a lot of that money has gone to places and this, that, and the other, yeah, trust me, there needs to be like the federal government should have already been involved and legalize everything and like, because first they need to get rid of some of these state taxes and all this extra shit that states did, that the taxation without representation that has occurred. I'll use technical terms, but yes, the taxation without representation has occurred in every state. There's no reason there needs to be 20, 30% in taxes collected, and there's not even a federal tax yet. So now they have to come down and cap these states on these taxes so they can impose their federal tax, because there needs to be a federal tax. It's what it is, and that's fine. I think the federal liquor tax or something is, I think for liquor, the total in tax that you pay for liquor is like 7%. Something like that. It's like 7% total. There might be like little state things that are, so maybe like 10% tops, depending on what state you're in. Like Utah, you probably pay more in taxes when you leave the store. Like the local tax is probably more. But yeah, the federal tax is like 7% for liquor and whatever state, whatever. So still they're hovering around 10%, and that includes federal taxes. So yeah, it's ridiculous. They need to step in. They need to do something. But now, these are the these are our 3 options. Hopefully most of our states will have the 3 options. I'll be really mad if mine, like, I don't see, here's the thing, like, I see the Secretary of State in Nevada losing this lawsuit hard. That's the thing. It's like the lawsuit, it's like, there's only 2 things. There's only 2 answers they have as to why they would change it like that. Or one, the office was completely incompetent. Their office is incompetent because they gave wrong direction. They allowed the ballots to be collected, all of that in January, and then came out in March and said, oh no, that's wrong. It has to be done this way. You can't do that. Either your office is incompetent or you're suppressing candidates. One of the 2, pick one, because it only can be one of the 2. There is no other explanation. So now with this lawsuit going up, I just hope Nevada clears it up quickly, and they clear it up in the right way before it hits the national front, and Nevada's the candidate suppression state of the United States, because he's on the ballot in all the other ones. And the ones he's not on yet, he will be there. Trust me. If you don't realize the amount of signatures that were collected in the state of Texas and the amount of time it was done, and New York and California, he's on, like, so I think that specifically the Democrats, I think that Democrats are so into their little bubble. They really don't know shit about the impact of Web3. They don't know shit about the impact of the people and what the people want. And they're sitting in their little local politician desks being like, oh, well, Democrat. Okay, well, what does that mean? What are you representing exactly? Because you're not for open and free elections. Like, the Democratic Party has become the military industrial complex, the owned by big pharma, the corporate greed. They're not the hippie party they were in the 60s. They are not the 60s Democrats, the people that are, anti-Vietnam. They're not, that is not the party anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. Enter the Kennedy party. Hello, here we are. Right? Now it's an independent because it's breaking away from the Democratic Party that does not represent the original fundamentals of what democracy is. They're polluted. It's so toxic and polluted. I never seen, you would think all the toxicity, like it's not. The Democrats are more toxic. The Republicans are easier to talk to. They're more willing to fucking talk and look at things. Like how did we get here? We got here when pharmaceutical ads were allowed to be ran on television. That's how we got here. We got here when advertising dollars were allowed to be spent on marketing whatever drug they could. Like I saw this, was it the Rexulti commercial? That's it, the Rexulti commercial. Did anybody else catch this? I've been seeing that damn commercial. Like I'm one of the few people that actually still watches. Like I have my antenna. I don't subscribe to cable, but I have my antenna. I like to have like my local station on in the background. I like to listen to like local news and then hit the national news. But and then of course, I get my stuff from my streams, my digging, whatever, and then the thing is, no matter what it is you're seeing on any of those channels, you have to decipher it. You have to come up, you're going to make your own mind up. And yeah, it's just completely changed. And it's not what it was. It's not even what it was in the 90s. It's not even like I think the Hillary Clinton era and the Bill Clinton era, those are two Clinton times. And, the Bill Clinton times were still like that. It was still there. Even George Bush, when 9/11 happened and everything, and that whole war, like that happened, it was different. It was not this, it was different. It wasn't what it is, and then, Obama came in and we were still good and all that. But I don't know, I feel like it all changed when the bank crash happened. I think a lot of that money that got pushed into those businesses, which I think that was a terrible thing to do then. I think a lot of those businesses pivoted and got into pharmaceuticals. I don't know. I would have to do some. I'm speculating here. This is my speculation. I speculate this right now. I think that if we did some actual like digging, I think that a lot of that money that the government gave to those banks and those shareholders and those people that, the housing market crashed. Well, what were they going to do? Invest in housing again? No, the market crashed. That was too risky. Now drugs and advertising drugs. Now there's money in that. Because I feel like after 2008 is when like just every single commercial became a drug. And like, again, getting back to that Rexulti, I hate that I'm even saying the name on here, but they were just advertising that for like people to take with their antidepressant, to add to it, to help with their like it was a second pill to take with some pill you're already taking kind of thing, one of those. But now I just saw an ad and they're saying that you should take it for some other shit now. It's just bad. Like, if you don't eat your nutrition and you don't get up and you don't exercise, and you just want to lie around and take pills all day. And that's what you believe health is. And then you go around and wear a mask on top of it. Like, I can't. That's the point that you just officially have entered dumb land. Like, how do you even not think that you are being complete? Like, that's the most like unintelligent thing I've witnessed in all of this. No, I don't take medications, honey. I don't even go to I'm very healthy. I don't go to like, in order to even put yourself in the position to be stuck on said drugs, you have to put yourself in the position of actually going to seek out a physician and tell them, hey, I'm feeling this type of way and that type of way. what you got, doc? And then they're going to give you what they have. And if you keep going back and you want them to keep digging, they're going to dig until they find something to treat you for. And then they're going to charge you money and treat you for it. And the treatment might make you sicker. So yeah, no, if you get into the funnel, it's a sales funnel. That's what it is. Medical corporations, it's a funnel. They're funneling you. You know, of course I have insurance, you know, you got to have, I have insurance in case some shit happens. I make sure I have the good catastrophic stuff, but when it comes to like, I don't need your prescriptions. You don't need that. You know, I deal with anything that's wrong with me. Trust me, cannabis fixes right now. You know, I don't really drink a lot of alcohol. Like, and the food, if you eat a lot of processed foods, what are you putting in your body and how are you treating your body? Because what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So if you're putting in a bunch of crap and you're not getting nutrition, like there's this one woman, this one doctor that I follow on Instagram. I love her. I forget her name though. She's out of Australia and she has this whole class and they just put her on video and she's amazing. And she talks about how something as simple as dehydration, is not drinking enough water, can make you feel all these different things that somebody may go to a doctor for. And you don't need to go to a doctor. You need to stop drinking soda. That orange juice that you're buying at the grocery store has more sugar in it than you need. Like that's actually one of the biggest things with me. I drink tea, coffee, and water. That's it. Because all of those other drinks, all of them, I don't care if it says organic. I don't care what it says on that bottle. You flip that bottle over, trust me. Trust me. I don't care if you got it at Whole Foods and it was a $20 bottle this big. The sugar content on that bottle is enormous. Now that's the research I've done. When I go to the grocery store, I read all of the ingredients. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a crazy person. I like to have, look, check it out. You know, I have my little things, you know, I'll have like one little cupcake in the afternoon and then one before bed, you know, the mini ones. I'm not perfect. I enjoy things. I don't, you know, I'm not some crazy person, but at the same time, but I don't get crazy people either. But at the same time, I also, look, I love this. So these were on the shelf and they were only like $2.50. Okay. And I'm like, and I was looking at them, I was like, oh man, those look good. Cause I don't usually do a lot of bread. So it was like a treat for me to do something like this. So I'm like, oh, you know, I can freeze some, you know, so I'll have them for a while. Cause I'll only eat like one, you know? But then I was like, you know, all that bleached flour, I don't want to deal with that. And then I flipped it over and to my pleasant surprise, enriched, unbleached wheat flour. So when I read that, I said, all right, I'll take it. And then as I continued to read, the ingredients in here are not that bad. It's like, it's more of a natural dough than you know, I was like, I'm getting it. So that's how I choose my food. It's though I don't look at calories. I look at how much sugar is in this and if it's bleached. I think a lot of people's illnesses come from the bleach that they use in the flour, and that's the gluten thing and all that. I think the bleach that they put in the majority of our food has a lot to do with it. Yeah, that's what they do. The running to doctors. That's like a thing. That's what people, I mean, women go through from 40 to 55. Okay. For a solid 10, maybe even 15 years, women go through something called menopause. And the hormones are basically leaving your body. And you're just on this roller coaster of like, and you go through these things and a lot of the like symptoms that you can get are like symptoms associated with other shit. But the fact is 9 out of 10 times you're fine. It's because you're going through something natural like that, and it's going to kick your ass and you got to deal with it. But when you go and you say, "Oh, you know what? I'm burning up at night. I'm having hot flashes." Like if you got a cool doctor, and you're going to go to him or her and be like, "Yeah." And if you got a cool doctor that's really not trying to dig in on you, they'll be like, "Well, you're probably just dealing with this, that, and the other." However, because of the insurance the doctor carries, they have to, by law, say to you and give you the option to run more tests. And it's a great business thing too for them. So when you're there, if they say, well, this could be going on, but then they also say, well, you know what? It could be this too, and we should run some tests. Now, depending on how the doctor that you have and how much, they care about the money over the patient, or, because there's that. That's why they take an oath. But yeah, they're gonna find something wrong with you. And I don't know, I'm very old school. I was raised with no health insurance. um I did my mom took me, I had my doctor's visits, I did that stuff, she paid the cash. She said, don't get insurance. You have insurance, they're gonna make you sick. My mom was one of those. my my mom, my number one conspirer, my mother. She told me that shit in the 1900s. It's a scam. Scam. She knew it. She knew it. So yeah, yeah, the blood pressure medicine, I heard about that too. And the thing is, there's natural herbs, and again, your blood pressure is high. Why? What are you eating? And the doctors don't ask you what you're eating. Say, oh, your blood pressure is high. Here, take this. That's it. Obviously, if you like, again, it's people choosing to go to their doctor versus like, I had a hell of a shoulder pain. I had a whole knot. My shit was locking up, whatever. I've done massages. I got back to the gym. I'm feeling better. But there's a lot of people who be like, oh my God, my shoulder hurts. My shoulder hurts. Oh my God, I got to go to the doctor. My shoulder hurts. Because they have insurance. They're like, oh, I don't have to pay. I just have to pay my copay is only $25. But then they don't realize all the bills that are going to come after the fact that they still have to pay for. Because that's how they get you. But yeah, and that comes down to the person, and also the education that they have, and the resources that they have, and the information that they have. And if they're not educated, if they're educated by Fauci, they'll be lined up every single day getting some shot for something, so that machine continues to make money. What about all the needles that aren't disposed of? Like they're just in our oceans, like all those things that they use, those caps, all that's all, like, I really think the pharmaceutical company needs to be sued for the majority of the trash that they're not, that they themselves picking up and taking care of. And it's supposed to be like medical, so they should do that. Yeah, so I think that the Ozempic thing is just they get a lot of people signing up to a lifelong medication because you're going to be on it the rest of your life. It's their biggest business move ever is Ozempic. Yeah, it's their biggest business move ever. And now there's going to be a whole generation, and they fed right into, look at the world we live in. We're in a selfie, everybody is self-indulged, looking at themselves, caring about their appearance. It's so funny. I never seen a generation care so much about how they look, but then wear pajamas every time they leave the house. It's like you will do all of, like, you will diet, and you will do an Ozempic, you will get the stuff done, you will do all of the doctoring and the needles and all of that to look good on a camera, but you walk out the house in pajamas all the time. Make it make sense. Like I'll sit here in pajamas, but when I go out there, I like to do something a little bit. But yeah, it's really sad because there's a whole generation that's just going to be sick. And then I'm concerned about the. Have you heard about the Ozempic babies? I actually think that's going to be a thing. Like how fertilities just went crazy, and they're saying that Ozempic is part of it. Yeah. Like I don't know. The thing is, there is no study out there about somebody that takes Ozempic for X amount of time and they have children, how that's going to affect the offspring. They don't have those tests. We don't know that about the vaccine. We don't know that about the fucking flu shot, dude. They've only had the flu shot out so long to where I would think maybe about now they're getting those results. And is that why maybe we have more children affected by certain things and are sick and ill? And again, this is why I support Bobby Kennedy and his vision for what needs to happen. And Nicole Shanahan. Nicole Shanahan is talking nothing. She's been all over the internet just talking to farmers and talking about our soil and our nutrients. And that's what we need to be discussing. Technology and wellness. That's technology and wellness needs to come together like never before. And we need to use it to take care of us. And we can't do that if we're going to rely on one of two out of touch, well above the age of retirement men that talk about themselves all the time, and are just going to add fuel to a fire that already got ignited over the ocean. Actually, too, there's two wars. There's always been war, but there's two major wars happening right now. And do we really want, we know we don't want Biden. Okay. He's doing nothing. And I don't want Trump. I want Kennedy. I don't want Trump. And here's the thing. I would rather have the more peaceful candidate, the person that's going to change some stuff enough that can sit at the table and negotiate and actually talk about the things that are pissing off the other side to be able to have some kind of dialogue. Kennedy's a de-escalator. Trump is an escalator. I don't think there's any debate upon that. I don't think that anybody who whether support him, don't support him, whatever, I don't think anybody out there can say that Trump does not escalate situations. Just putting that out there. All right. You're either an escalator or a de-escalator. He's not the de-escalator. Kennedy is. Now, since there already are two very bad wars over the ocean from us right now, and if I had to choose between, now I'm voting for Bobby Kennedy, and he better be on my Nevada ballot, because if he's not, I'm just going to write him in. That's what I'm going to do. But I can see a lot of people, because if it's going to be between the other two, I want the mean motherfucker in the White House during war. Like, that's, if we're looking at war, and trust me, we are. And this is the last thing I wanted to discuss before I log off. The one piece of headline that I just saw today, it was just posted 9 hours ago, because you got to remember, Russia and the rest of the world is about 7 to 10 hours ahead of us. So what happens there 7 to 10 hours ago, we don't hear about for 7 to 10 hours. Okay. Because that's what happens. And it was a news article from an Irish from out of Ireland. It was the Ireland Times or something like that. But there was a map. Somebody on X posted about it. There's a map. They are actively positioning U.S. troops through NATO on the borders of, basically, if Russia goes through Ukraine, they're in the borders of, I think it's like Poland and the NATO border right there. And then they have boats and airplanes set up in the other strategic areas. There's like a whole map diagram, the whole thing of what the movements that they're making right now. Yes, they are moving American troops. NATO is moving the NATO, whatever American troops are out there, they're moving them into position. They're literally moving them into position on this line. So if anybody out there thinks for a second that this is stopping, it's only not being really published right now, and it's being strong. It's being held back like this from the Biden administration because they want to wait until after the election. They don't want to have to go and call up troops. What you think Biden's going to call up troops to go put them into war when there's what was it June, July, August, September, October, 5 months from an election? You think, yeah, if he does that, that's just him. You know, he knows he's going to lose. Like it's already happening. Even without Kennedy, like he already loses to Trump. Like this is why the DNC is so fucking stupid. The DNC is going to be the reason why Trump wins. The DNC is the reason why Trump's going to win if Kennedy is not on the ballot in all 50 states. So they need to figure their shit out real quick. So now this news is coming out of Europe that NATO is moving the troops in or whatever. So it's not like Biden's going to announce putting troops at war because he'll lose the election. But that's happening. So if you're 18 to 25, you might want to really, really, really figure out who, honestly, because either Biden or Trump, we're going to war. If either of those two are the option and what the American people end up choosing, that's going to escalate. That's not going to stop. That's just going to escalate. Now, how strategic they're going to be at war, let's see. Biden's war strategy, Trump war strategy, Kennedy war strategy. Out of those three tiers, who do you think is going to be more effective in de-escalating and negotiating to hopefully not get us completely into World War III? Because that's what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we're looking at right now. Forget your abortion fucking bullshit. Forget your civil rights bullshit. Forget your fucking even the big pharma shit and this and that. Like everything else does not matter. And we need to stop talking about it and talking about all these things when the major issue we're looking at is World War III. And now there's news that troops are being moved into certain positions because obviously they're anticipating they're going to keep coming. And don't forget, Alaska, I'm on the West Coast of the United States. Alaska and Russia, I don't want to, but that's not the if you have military equipment, going from Russia to Alaska through the water is not difficult. It is very easy. And ice is melting right now. This is the thing. The ice is melting. The war moves. So I want really everybody out there, no matter your political beliefs, your who you like more, who you don't like more, everything does not matter. None of it that we have done. None of it. None of the fighting, none of the trying to legalize this, trying to fight for this and give me this and give me that. It doesn't matter. We need to worry about who's going to lead us out of the World War III we're looking at. And if they're not going to lead us out of it, then they need to just win it. So everybody keeps talking about there being a big civil war here at home between us and the people arguing and everything, like, and they're taking our attention away from the big picture. That's the big picture. The world war, not our civil bullshit. We're peasants. It's that simple. We're all peasants. But we do have the power to go vote and make sure the people that we want to give the job to and stick up for us and be there for us, that they do their job. So at least we have that. So we can use that. I'm going to log off. Have a good one. Bye, guys.